Good morning. How are we? Today is Tuesday, 23rd of March. Thank you for joining me, those of you that are coming in. I am just going to share this over to my group and make sure that I'm in the right place, because that's always good. Who's going to be joining me today? Okay, share done. So could have a bit of movement, hear a bit of movement outside today. We're having the heating system service today. So there's going to be someone over in the boiler room sorting out the biomass system. So we've got renewable heat here, and we've just been having a few issues with the hopper lately. So it's like a wood. It's like eco heating, it's wood pellets, so yeah, which is lovely. But yeah, today we've got people coming to service that. So I can hear that Jason's just pulled up, thank goodness, because they were coming at 10 o'clock and I was like, well, I can't be there to let them in because I'm going to be live. So welcome to Stampin' Chat. I'm going to move that out of the way because I know I'm in the right place. So before I turn you down to my desk and get started with stamping, just a couple of things I wanted to chat with you about this morning. Tomorrow is a really exciting day for us as demonstrators. We get to see the PDF of the new annual catalogue that launches in May. So super excited. You as a customer will get to see the last chance list, and that's like the retiring list. So all of the products that will be leaving. This will be back to front, but this catalogue here, all of the products, I mean, look, I'm well due a new one. I've got the front covers falling off, and yeah, so it's good timing. So the products that will be leaving that catalogue will go onto the last chance list. They are while supplies last only, so do remember that. If there's something that you really must have, you need to get it fast. So, and the best way of doing that is by placing an online order via my shop. I will be placing an order tomorrow evening, but the problem is if there's a hold up or a delay, I don't want to miss out on getting your product. So the best thing is for you to order online with me, and if you're spending over £30, please use my host code, because you will then get a little surprise in the post from me next month to say thank you for choosing to shop with me. I can see someone's joining. If you're popping in, please say hello. What else do I need to talk about this morning? Really good time. If you've been thinking about joining my team, now's a really great time because you will get to see a sneak peek of that new annual catalogue. So if you've got any questions or queries about joining my team, please just drop me a message, give me a call, send me an email. I'm happy to chat with you. It's very informal. There's no pressure to do what I do. You don't have to sit behind a camera and go live to people. It could be that you have your own little hobby that you'd like to maybe turn into a business. Maybe you sell things that you make and you would like to earn a permanent discount on your product. Then being a Stampin' Up demonstrator is a great reason to, to help you out that way, because you will get your discounts yourself. So if you've been thinking about that, then please just get in touch. Ordering, there is a bit of a delay. It seems, I don't know about, I've had a couple of parcels rescheduled just recently, but it seems like there are congestions in ports overseas which could have an impact on us, and it does mean that we have got a few products that are going on back order as well, so do bear that in mind. And the other important thing I just want to shout out to you about is that the Butterfly Bijou DSP has sold through. That didn't last long, did it? I didn't think it was going to be around for long because it's just so pretty. So I'm sorry if you missed out on that. And that is the thing, when we have products on limited supply and limited time, that if you want them, then you have to get them. So don't delay when things, especially tomorrow when this last chance list comes out. Don't hesitate, just place that order. and to secure the things that you need. And then they'll be winging their way to your doorstep and you'll have an exciting parcel of products to play with. So let's get down to some stamping. So I'm going to whiz you around. You're going to see the other end of my studio, which I have to confess is a bit of a tip at the minute. I'm having a bit of a rechange. I've got boxes of stuff down one end. I'm looking down there now because it's a bit unsightly. So I've got things to go on the wall. I'm going to do something with the corner over on the left that you're going to see at the moment, but I'm not going to share anything about that just yet. So, but I need to find the time to organise these things. And also I need IKEA to open so that I can get some more furniture. So that is the plan down there. So I'm going to turn you around, turn you down onto my desk, get on some lights, and hope. Let my MacBook catch up. Let's move that out of the way. I will have a few things to talk about after. And let's try a little zoom. Sweet strawberry. You guys are loving, absolutely loving my projects. I'm just waiting for catch up and then I'm going to tape down. Let's come in a bit more. Tape down my grid so it doesn't fidget. You know I like to do this and then I know it's not going anywhere. Okay, I think we're kind of there. If I tape it down and then I'll just move my phone slightly and have the catch up. So yeah, this is last week's Facebook Live where I created this card. And you guys are loving it over on Instagram. It's getting lots of love. It's reached lots of people, thousands of people. It's had loads of likes and loads of shares as well, which is really good, and saves. So that's a good thing about Instagram is saving projects, which I love to do because, you know, we were talking last week about casing, you know, using someone else's idea. And sometimes it could be that I save someone else's card that they've made just for their layout. So saving is good. And it helps us as the platform. You know what it's like. They change the algorithms all the time with Facebook as well. So sometimes they're like, you need to like everything. And then sometimes they change their mind and say, actually, you need to save all of your posts. We're still a bit wonky. I don't know why. Let's have a fiddle. Because I feel like my camera is at a totally... Just pull up that. It's got to be straight, guys. Let's come down a bit and wait for the catch up. I think my camera was on like a tilted angle, and when it looks like that, you're not directly down above me. You're not directly above me, looking down onto what I'm doing. So I think I'm nearly there. You know me, faffer. I'm a faffer. So, sweet strawberry stamp set. Absolutely love this. I've been doing loads and loads of projects with it. Still not straight. We're getting there. Loads of projects with it. I shared with you last week how to mount your stamps. I'm going to do that again for those that didn't catch up. I'm still waiting on a couple of punches. Some of you were able to get in there with the punches before they went out of stock. But I think we're getting there now, so hopefully deliverers will be coming through. So that was last week's card. Let's move this punch out of the way. I think I've mounted, no, I haven't mounted the stamps. Let's start with mounting the stamps. So do you remember I showed you this last week? Morning, Ruth. How are you doing? How the devil are you? Okay, so looking at our punch, this is how we want to mount our stamps. So I took a piece of cardstock, I opened up my punch, simply punched it out, and I was left with this. And then what we do is, I like to pull, when I'm using a stamp set, I like to pull that top cover off and have these clear until I'm ready. Otherwise you're constantly pulling up that bit of plastic. We are going to be having some changes with photopolymers, the packaging, so look out for that soon. So what I'm doing is just taking off these stamps that I need. Morning, Jacqueline, how are you? How are you bearing up? How are those energy levels today? And what other one do I, oh, the little flower. So just pop in that. And it's lovely because it kind of just sits down when it's not wanting to stick to me. It just kind of sits down. It's sort of held in there. So I'm going to pop that gently down. Locate my block. And then just pick up those 4 together. Ruth, you're getting your vaccine on Friday. That's great news. That's brilliant news. I'm going to pop that back in there and then I know it's there. Jason had his yesterday, so he was kind of a bit, not anxious, but he prepared himself last night. He took some paracetamol up to bed. When we went up to bed last night, he took up a drink, some paracetamol, in case he woke up feeling unwell in the night. So I think it's affecting people differently, isn't it, this old vaccine? So I need to have a check whether I'm eligible to have mine yet, because I've had the text, and apparently that if you go onto the government website, .gov, and put in your NHS number, you can actually kind of book in somewhere. So I need to do that really, but yeah, so I'm hoping he's just going to breeze through it. I know, speaking to a few people, they've been feeling a bit rotten having it, but it's for a good reason, guys, isn't it? Jacqueline, you're having a good day, catching up on your housework. I know, I did a bit of that over the weekend, actually. I really would like a cleaner, because I feel that hoovering just the downstairs of my house takes an absolute age. But I'm one of these people where I can do the job myself. I just do it. I don't need to get someone else to do it. But I could do with it. I need to spend more time over here, so less housework is better. Mind you, you know I'm that sad person that loves the housework. Love tidying up, love cleaning. So I'm using, with your kits, those of you that purchased the kits, you had the stamp set included, the punch and a real red ink pad. Unless you already had that, of course, you switched that out. And you will need to add in a Memento and a green ink pad. So Ruth, my demonstration of mounting the stamps was really useful. Yeah, I think it's a good little tip, because once they're on there, as I said last time, just like stamp away, stamp a whole load of them, and then they're ready. And then you can still obviously use these individually. If you've got a quick card that you need to make, you can still just punch one out. So let us put inks to one side and grab in today's card. So here we go. Let's get you in shot. Wait for catch up. So you'll need your linen thread. Same stamps as before, just different layout. And of course I'm using the Stitched So Sweetly dies. In love with these, like I am everything else that Stampin' Up gives us. It's dangerous, but it's lovely. Lovely having such a fabulous collection of products that help me be so productive. Okay, so yeah, today's card. The DSP I'm using is from, what have I done with my packet? I get all this stuff out, put it in my view, ready. And now, oh, it's there right in front of me, right under my nose. So it's from the Regals collection, and this is a sneak peek of what's coming in the annual catalogue. So we have these colours at the moment, but we don't have these patterns. So as a demonstrator, I was able to pre-order the pattern paper packs before it went available for those who joined. So those people who joined during Celebration, they received 1 pack of 5 colour families. So 5 whole packs of this DSP for free with their starter kit. So the patterns are just lovely. Let's find the other one. And then we've got this one, like that. So really useful. And as I said, this is the Regals. So I've been chopping in to the real red because I didn't want to use the from last week's. If I bring in last week's, I didn't want to use this Heartwarming Hugs, I think it's called, from the December mini catalogue that retired, but this paper is carrying over, it is coming back, so that's something to bear in mind if you've got this stamp set. So that's today's project. Let's pull in my kits. So you will need a real red base. Not a colour I use often is red. And I've got some scraps here because while I'm inking, I'm going to be doing lots of these together. Got a layer of basic white, the larger piece, which is for your insert. Then we have a Pear Pizzazz layer and another basic white that should just layer with a very skinny border around it. Got that lovely strip of DSP. I'm not sure whether yours is cut to size or it might be the full 6-inch length. And then 2 lovely die cut panels from the Stitch So Sweetly die set, which is fab for layering. And then I've put in, why have I put that in? I think I was looking at last week's card and thinking I needed a strip that big, but I will have to root around in my scrap bag. Now we will also need a bit of fussy cutting to be done. We will need to mount this stamp and I will sort my greeting after. So let's hope that that one will fit on a D block. I think it should. Yep. I always recommend, if you're new to stamping, this is a D block, it's a size D. It's a really good size for a lot of our stamps. Obviously, something bigger isn't going to fit, but we do have larger blocks. We have the E, which is this one, which is a lot bigger. That's a good one. But I think when you're starting, a D block is a great size to have. Okay, let's start with stamping. Let's bring in my little sponge mat. All of those pieces to one side for the moment, and you're going to need a bit of scrap. I'm moving my grid again. What am I like? I'm such a fusspot. We need, let me show you the card again. Just 1 strawberry, but we need 3 leaves. So I'm going to stamp plenty and then 1 of each size flower. Now I haven't mounted either this little flower. Just seeing it there, we need that one. And I'm going to mount it like a standing person. So head, 2 arms and 2 legs, as if they're standing with feet on the floor. And then of course, just going behind me, I'm going to use my small bloom punch. If you don't have this punch, you can fussy cut around the flowers. You can fussy cut around any of these if you like. So let's start. Memento ink. I still feel like we're at a really strange angle, like my camera's on a tilt. But I guess as long as you guys can see what I'm doing, it's fine. So Memento ink. Let's get my wet wipe handy and have a quick nosy out the window and see if anyone's here. No, nobody's here yet. And I'm going to do, I need 3 of these leaves. So let's make some room. Gosh, guys, the more room you have, you use it, don't you? It's like here, I've got so much desk space where those of you that come here for face-to-face classes, a thing of the past right now, you would normally sit. But because it's just been me here for the last year, I've started spreading stuff around. That's terrible, isn't it? So I've had to get really strict with myself now, and I've bought some baskets, and over on my cupboards on to the right of me, I now stack things in baskets rather than spreading it all around the studio. So you know what it's like, you're like, well, I need to post these parcels, I've got this kits that I need to pack, and I've got this that I'm doing planning on. It's just easy just to spread it all around, and then it just turns into absolute chaos, which isn't good. Right, I need another bit of basic white. I've got a huge big piece here, but I'm going to chop into it. And on this stamp, I just need these two leafy images. I don't need the flowers, but I'm going to stamp the whole thing, and then I will be fussy cutting that out. And just to save paper, I'm going to go right off the edge like that, because I just need these two leaves here. So let's put that to one side. And I also need some of these flowers. Let's see if they'll fit. They'll just about fit on there. Let's stamp a few in that hope that when I punch them, they will work. I don't think the punch leaves too much of a border. I know I only need one of these guys, but while I've got this strip, while it's inked, I'm just going to stamp them. And what else do we need? I think that's it for stamping with the Memento. Next, you need to locate, let's put them that way, your infill, let's say infill pieces. Just going to pull you back a little bit. Hope that you can't see my feet now. And so these are what we're going to use to colour in the strawberry and the leaves. Now, because of the reasoning behind the Stampin' Chat is to keep my budget, keep the cost of the Stampin' Chat down, which is why I only included the one ink pad. And I know lots of you have lots of ink pads and colours. On my picnic basket class, I chose to colour in the flowers with the Bumblebee ink pad, and I really love that. And so if you have a yellow ink pad, or maybe orange, another colour to add to this, please feel free to colour in, because my card is quite white. It's quite white, the flowers, even though we've added the pearls in, which I've coloured. Feel free to colour in your flowers and even do something with your leaves. But because I'm only including a red ink pad, I've already added in a Pear Pizzazz for you to find. I didn't want to add in another colour, but I want you to know that this is your card. There are so many more options. Right, let's start with the strawberry. So with the... Oh, I've taken you right out of shot now. I'm waffling and not even concentrating. Move you back up. With the real red, let's just colour in. Now, of course, you could colour in with your blends if you love using your blends. But I just think this is so quick and simple. And look how defined this stamp is. Look at that texture, that depth that it gives. I think it's just fabulous. It looks 3D. Okay, let's just do all of these for now. I'm going to punch them all out, but I'm not going to be using them. They'll be going into my little goo pot, ready for the next projects. So now we need to take your green. I'm using Pear Pizzazz. Mossy Meadow would work lovely with this if you have Mossy Meadow. But any green will do. There is no other green on this card. Well, there is Pear Pizzazz layer, but other greens will blend in with it. So, trying to concentrate. I'm line it up. when I'm not directly, oh, I'm gonna go back in. Nobody will know. Shh. There, see, look, you can't tell. Let's do these as well. So because the heating people are here or coming, we've had to switch the heating off this morning. So I came over first thing and turned the heating right up to maximum in here. And I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty warm right now, but once the heating goes off for a couple of hours, it will drop. So it's nice and toasty in the studio this morning. As I would say, positively tropical. Just want the sun to come out, which I think is happening later, which would be lovely. So I'm just infilling the little stalk that goes on top of the strawberry. Okay, hope I haven't lost you all with boredom. So that's all the stamping and colouring that we need to do. So let's do up that ink. Put it to one side. I'll need my Memento shortly. So what we do now, because it was so quick and easy to do that stamping, is literally we're going to take our punch, let's get you in shot, and line in like that and punch out. Like that. It's quite a stiff punch because you've got 4 elements here that it's punching out. I need 2 hands to do that. I used to have really good strength in my hands, but I guess that's another one of those old age things. My hands don't have as much strength as they used to. Oh, I just love that, don't you? Out you come, little flower. So I don't need all of these, but because everything's inked, just line that in. Because everything's inked, why not? And I need a few leaves anyway. Let's go that way a little bit. There. Punch to one side. Let's tip all of those pieces there. Find my little pot. Oh, where is my strawberry pot? There. So I've got some leftovers from before. So let's just throw all of those in there for now. And then I can locate what I need. Then, oops, take your small bloom punch. Morning, Lynn. How are you, my lovely? How are you doing? Hope everyone had a good weekend. So it was Jason's birthday on Sunday, so it's been a weekend of eating cake. That one went on the floor. Let's do, I don't think I need to, but I'm going to punch them. While I'm here, can you see how close that one was to the edge? But nice that I've got to use up a scrap from a scrap bag. Okay, another punch to one side. So that's all of our stamping done for the moment. Let's just snip out. I'm going to pick up that one that tried to get away. Let's just quickly cut out these leaves. Never know whether to refocus when I think it kind of auto focuses when I'm up close. So just trim around the edge. Leave a little white border. Well, that's my personal choice. For one, I find it easy. It helps me to cut out neatly when I'm leaving a little border. And for two, most of our punches, when they cut out, and I believe dies, I could be wrong, I've not really thought about it too much, but they do leave a white gap, so there's nothing stopping us doing that. I find it easier to cut. Don't know about you guys, when you're leaving a nice border, white border, or obviously depending what colour you're cutting out. So just leaving a little gap. I could sit and cut out all day long. Does that make me sad, silly, daft, crazy, or just creative? I just love it. I find it very therapeutic. And I know some of you detest cutting. I will say the correct equipment makes a massive difference. These snips that we sell from Stampin' Up, they are amazing. They're very sharp. They cut right to the point. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So you can buy those from us. Lynn, you're not too bad. You're still on a slow recovery. Oh, bless you. Bless you, bless you. Yeah, happy belated birthdays to Jason. Yeah, bless him. Another lockdown. That's 2 lockdown birthdays he's had. And last year was a big birthday. So that wasn't much fun for him. And we said this time last year, well, we'll be fine. Next year we can celebrate big time. But didn't happen again. So there we go. Okay, so stop chatting and waffling, Kerry, and think about the task in hand. Right. Start with the base. So real red. Let's get my bone folder. I don't know how my bone folder gets so grubby. I'm constantly cleaning it. Seems to always look grubby. Pop that to one side. So to start with, because we're going to be adding some of our twine, the linen thread, first of all, we need to, before we start layering any of these, we need to think about adding our DSP onto the basic white. Katie. Oh, hi, Katie. How are you? So Katie's joining us for the first time today. She's local-ish and my daughter's boyfriend saw something. She was reaching out for help on a village Facebook group, and my daughter's boyfriend messaged me and said, can you help this woman? It's to do with Stampin' Up. So I was like, well, I'll try. So lovely to have you join us. So I'm just popping down this layer, come on Tombo, of DSP over to the left. Let's line it in. And just leaving a little skinny white panel at the edge, like that. Now, before you stick this down, obviously we're going to be adding some twine, linen thread even. You need to check, because I cut everything individually when I'm measuring, and you can't guarantee that your piece of DSP, if I've cut it, is the same length as your piece of basic white. So I always like to turn it over and make sure there aren't any pieces overhanging before it goes down. And if there's a bit overhanging, or if it's a bit short, or it's slightly short that side, but it's not going to show, I like to trim it before it goes down. So do you know what, Katie? This community of Stampin' Up is absolutely amazing. I've got a lovely team of demonstrators. They are all so helpful. They cheerlead each other, and it's just such a fabulous thing to be a part of. And I've now been a demonstrator for just over 11 years, and I'm thankful to be part of it. We're just fabulous. We are just a fabulous group of helpful creatives. So with this layer here, so this is, in a moment, going to sit down onto this Pear Pizzazz, but we need some linen thread. I know, and even though we've got our own little families of team, we're all part of a much larger community, aren't we? So, you know, we meet new people when we can go face-to-face to Stampin' Up events. We connect with other demonstrators that maybe we've chatted with online or we've been to events with, and you then become friends. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. And we're all here for each other. Well, we are in my world. You know, you help anyone out regardless. Okay, so I've just cut a piece there. So trim a piece just a bit longer, it's wanting to stick to me, than your layer. Let me bring the card back in. I don't never wrap my linen thread around and try and tie a bow here. I always stick my bow on after because it's much easier. In fact, you can probably see my little glue dot there. So you'll see me do that now. So with my glue dots, let's roll them back. I'm going to pop one just on the reverse, in line, just to the side of this DSP. And then I'm going to wrap that. I'm not sure I like that big fluffy bit there, but it can stay. I have to learn to be not so fussy. So literally, if we get one side on, we can pull it quite tight and then just stick it onto that glue dot behind like that, and our bow can go on after when we've got all our layers together. So just move it across so that it's straight, and then we'll pop some Tombow and get this layer down onto our Pear Pizzazz. Yeah, Jacqueline, you're agreeing as well. We are. We're a fabulous bunch, aren't we? We have some great networks as well. Some really great networks, and you know, the opportunities that Stampin' Up gives us to meet with each other, you know, different events, not just our annual events. There've been leaders events. Obviously, the incentive trips, those have been absolutely amazing. Just different opportunities that come our way. And when you join, you may just be thinking that you want a discount on your product, but you never know. You never know where it's going to take you. You honestly don't. So because I've got my linen thread around, this layer can go down now as well. Oops, I went off piece then, but that's fine. It's going to be covered over. And we just pop that one down with a nice even border. Katie, if you're doing 2 layers of card, you die cut something out of the middle. Yeah, I call that gutting. I don't know if that's a scrapbooking term, but we quite often do that in scrapbooking. So what Katie's saying, this piece of Pear Pizzazz behind here, because it's hidden by the white, she might cut out a die cut panel and use that for something else. So I totally agree. Gosh, if you knew me well, you'd know how tight I am. So where you can make savings on anything you like, I will never judge you, because, you know, making our product go further is an important part, because we all want to save money. I'm getting to the end of this sheet. I should have enough to do today's project. Got a new one out. So I'm using the mini dimensionals. These are my favourites. So if you're watching, because there's a few of you here, and you'll have no idea what a dimensional is, it's a little hexagonal foam pad. What I love about them is that they are not too thick. So they add dimension, but not too much. And I believe when I make a card and I use just one layer of dimensionals, so like that, nothing else raised up, which doesn't happen in my world very often. You know me, the girl of layers and the girl of height. But at this point, just adding one dimensional, then that will go through as a normal stamp and not a large letter. Don't quote me on that, because if you're putting lots of cardstock layers underneath, that could have a reverse effect. But sometimes I'm surprised. I get to the post office and she said, yeah, it's fine, it's normal. I'm like, oh, I put lots of stuff on that one. Do a little happy dance. I'm sad, I know. Very sad. So this one is going, I would say, in the middle. Whack bang in the middle. As best as one can do whilst filming. Katie, you learnt the gutting from scrapbooking, yes. So that reminds me, I've got a layout to show you, which is almost finished from my scrapbooking kits in the post. So I'm going to show you that after. Right, we need to locate some elements now, some stamped elements. So we need a small and large flower. Got a strawberry. We need a stalk and some leaves. 1, 2, 3, and look, I've got all those pieces left. You know that I'm going to be creating with those after. But first we need to take this die cut panel or label, whatever you like to call it, and just pop this one down below the center, just below the center, like that. Okay, so it's on there nice and centrally, but just down, not in the middle of your crumb cake panel. Now we need to add, still can't pick anything up. Let's give you a bit of life, a bit of Tombow on there. Guys, my stomach is doing the rumble. I am having hot cross bun for breakfast today. A hot cross bun, and I've got some homemade apple and blackcurrant jam. So I had so much fruit last year, I made so much jam. But the problem is you always have a favourite, don't you? Always have a favourite. My favourite is the plum and apple jam that I made, and it was made with the, oh, they're not plums, what are they called? Green gages, would that be it? No, not green gauge. Oh, I'm having an old age mental block. They're like a plum. It'll come to me, I've got to stop thinking about it. But it will come, yeah. And I made some of those. So they're a green plum. Somebody help me. They're a green plum, and it's not a green gauge because they're like a, they're smaller. Oh, it's gone. Anyway, I made the most delicious jam with apples from the tree and these plums, which will bother me for the whole day if I don't remember it. No, it wasn't a gooseberry. It's like a plum, but they're green. Oh, would it be, maybe it is green gauge, and I'm thinking of gooseberry. Maybe it is a green gauge. I don't know, I'm having a right old mental block. But it's like a plum, but they're green, and they kind of don't, they stay green. So the first year we moved in, we didn't think they were ready, and we didn't pick them. And then they kind of went over, so we learned from that mistake. So I'm just popping a strawberry up here, over on the left, and then I'm going to put in these 2 leaves. So gooseberries, my gooseberries grow by my raspberries. Gooseberries are kind of prickly, aren't they? I'm not a fan of gooseberries. That one is going to go over here. Let's pop these leaves in first before I add flowers. I think it's green gauge. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I was probably right in the first place, but then I was thinking gooseberry. So yeah, and then I think the second year we were here, we went out wandering around the garden as we do, you know, early in the morning on a weekend, and the tree was full of green gauges, and we were really excited because they are just delicious, so sweet and just delicious. No word of a lie, the next day we went out, every single one had gone. Something, probably Sydney the squirrel, the resident squirrel, came in and decided that he was going to have every green gauge on the tree. We were gutted, absolutely gutted. Let's move you that way. I want to put a flower in there. So that year we didn't see anything. We didn't get them, so And I think certain fruit trees, we're still learning here, but certain fruit trees, they don't fruit every year, or they may not fruit very well one year as opposed to another. So let's just give this flower a bit of life. But it's lovely out there now because things are starting to bud. The little apple tree, that's starting to bud, so the blossom will be coming out soon. The daffodils are in full song, even though Vivi mowed down some of them with her battery car, bless her heart, but they've mostly survived, which is good. Right, what I need to do before I put the leaf in and the flower, I need to stamp my greeting. So we'll pop that to one side. Greeting, sentiment, what do you guys call it? Is greeting, does the greeting go on the inside? I don't know. I've always called it a greeting, but then I do call it a sentiment. So on my original, I've used thank you. So I think as last week I did the happy birthday, I think I will use thank you today. Let's take this block, because I need lots of thank you cards at the moment, because I'm always sending stuff out. Those that place online orders always get thank you cards. For other things as well. There's no excuse to say thank you, is there? No excuse. Right, I need some skinny strips. Let's just grab a handful and find something that is reasonably sized. Is it going to fit on there? It will just fit on that one. Oops. Lost my shot now. And Momento ink. Hope I'm still in shot. Let's just ink this up. Stamp it down as best I can from a distance. And then I'm going to split this greeting. So I could leave it whole like that, but for the look of the card, I'm just going to chop the ends off first, and then chop it down the middle. You could fussy cut around this word if you wanted to. We did that last week. So don't throw away any of those edge pieces. So these here, these are edges from when I cut inserts for cards and layers. Don't throw them away. You will find a use for them, I'm telling you. There's always a use. Right, let's start another new sheet. First one's always tricky to come out. Let's pop some of these down. Like that. And take off the backs. Lynn, you like sending hello cards as happy mail? Yes, we've got a few. I've got a few stamps that have got hello in. And what I love about this one is that you've got the hello there. Hello. I love a hello. It's a no excuse card, isn't it? When it's got a hello on, it's just like, hi, I'm here. I'm thinking of you. Without saying I'm thinking of you, it's just hello. And it covers lots of bases as well. I mean, if you had a birthday card that said hello on the front, I wouldn't mind that. That wouldn't bother me. I think that should have gone a bit higher maybe. Don't cry, it's coming up without any pain. So I need to think about, I'm thinking about the sun coming out later. Last week I filmed a couple of videos for my picnic basket class, and I did them in the afternoon, and the sun started coming in. So I need to think about getting some new, I've got Velux blinds over here, but they're like those, how can I describe? They're like a paper blind, and the sunlight still comes through, which is great, but when you're filming, having lots of shadows isn't the best thing on the planet. I'm just going to snip that end off. So something else on the to-do list. Katie, you find it hard parting with the little bits. I know, but we find a use for them. It is slightly ridiculous, but I think it's good. And if I get too many where they bother me, I give them away. I give them away to team, or I give them away to customers. I will just pass them on, because my scraps white bag does get rather large. Especially because I cut a lot of kits. Come out of the way, you piece. Cut a lot of kits for posting, so do get a lot of scrappy bits. So we are almost done. We need to tie a bow with the linen thread. Now, because it's on this reel, it does have a bit of a curl, but if you take a nail in your finger and you just pull it, it does straighten it out. So let's just try and get you in shot and tie a little bow. So I make a loop, I wrap it around. Let me have a longer bit and then I can get a bit closer. So I make a loop and I pinch it, and I'm wrapping it around the back and then pushing it back through where I was pinching. And then just pull the two loops gently. Get my desired size, and then just, if you pull both the loops, you're right at the top of the screen, sorry, I'm trying to look in 3 places in one go. If you pull the loops, it just tightens it up like that, and then a glue dot, and I'm just going to roll it that, pop it down on there, make sure my loops are roughly the same size, and just pop it on. And that is much easier than trying to tie your linen thread from behind, tie it in a knot, and then try and tie your bow. And I think that way you waste more linen thread, and we do not want waste, do we? So we're almost there. The final thing to do is take some pearls. You might have some other embellishments. I did pop some pearls in your kits. You can use a Sharpie pen to colour these, permanent pen. I'm going to use our Daffodil Delight. This is the light version. I could have done with the dark, but I don't have it. I obviously bought this in the days when we could buy them individually, and of course now they come as a pair. So Katie, you've got to go to a work meeting. Yeah, I would love to have you come back and watch on the replay. So it'll be live. The live will be saved on here, but also it will get recorded. It will be uploaded to my YouTube channel as well, so you can go back over there and watch. So yeah, the Stampin' blends, and I'm literally going to colour in. I hope you can see. Lie flat. Just go over the top, around the edge, and just colour in a couple. Just let that dry for a moment. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, and then I'm going to pop these in the centres of my flowers. Now, as I've said, if you had a nice yellow ink, that would look beautiful on, let's use the proper tool for the job. Still a job to pick up. A yellow flower would look lovely. But I've thought the next best thing, just to add a bit of something to the centres. And if you had the darker yellow, that would work so much better. So let me just bring that one back in. Can you see how the yellow flower, how much better it kind of looks? It just makes it pop a bit more. So there we go, card all done. Week number 2, nearly finished. These weeks are going on. I am in the process of planning what to do for next month, but my head is in a bit of a spin at the moment, because obviously we've got new products coming. We've got obviously retired lists, so I don't want to, which we now obviously call the last chance list. I'm kind of holding off what I'm doing until I know what is retiring, because I don't want to be offering another Stampin' Chat with products that you can't get like 4 or 5 weeks down the line. So thank you, Lynn. It's a bit black and white in my world as regards the flowers and the leaves. But the other thing, let's just bring this one back in. Whereas I stamped my flowers on white, you could have done it on a green. Okay, that makes a big difference. Let me compare. Can you see it just gives it a bit more depth? So maybe these could have been stamped on green. That would have made it look different, but the yellow flowers just make it pop. So you guys are absolutely loving. Are you stuck? You look like you're flapping around. You guys are loving the Sweet Strawberry set, and I've still got kits for my picnic basket class. I haven't got anything to show you because it's all away in one of my boxes, tidied away. Do you remember me saying, rather than having it spread everywhere? So I can still do kits, and of course you can still order the stamps and dies, stamps and punch that go with it. So the other thing I wanted to talk with you about, I was going to quickly show you my layout. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it all in shot. So some of you will have seen this on the gram. I'm just waiting for the catch up. So I've still got a bit of journaling to do on there. I don't know whether I'll keep that private. There's nothing too private to keep about it, but this is one of the layouts from my scrapbooking class. And literally you receive products to do 6 layouts. I design the layouts for you, so I've kind of taken the hard work out. Obviously you don't get stamped pieces included, but you get DSP, half a pack of 12 by 12 cardstock, you get basic white cardstock in 12 by 12, you get sheets of cardstock in the coordinating colours, you get die cut pieces and layers, and 6 videos as well to go along with it where I create each layout. So hello Lynn, how are you, honey? Thank you for your kind words, thank you. So this is the actual first layout that I've kind of finished putting on my title, because in the world of Stampin' Up I find titling quite tricky. So this is the lovely alphabet. Let me grab it and show you what it's actually called. A great set of playful alphabet. So this one here, it's going to be really handy for scrapbooking or for your card making. I see loads of cards using this die set. But the journaling and the wording and the titling I always find difficult. So I've used the Always from, is it called Lovely You, the stamp set? And the reading is actually from my little label printer. And I've used that lovely greeting there as part of the layout. So I need to do probably a bit of splatting and a bit of background stamping, but my journaling, I'll probably just do some journaling down here. And the way I like to do my journaling is on my printer. So just print onto what used to be Whisper White, but now basic white cardstock, just print it, and then I like to just cut it into skinny strips and stick it down. So I haven't done the other layouts yet, but this is the first one of them. So I was really pleased with that. I really loved it. I popped it, I think I might have shared it over here on the group, but it definitely went on Instagram as well and had lots of love. So if you like what you've seen today, you might want to order the bundle for yourselves. You can still do that, and then you can catch up with my lives. If you want the kits to go with this, please message me. I can cut you kits for the 5 cards and pop those in the post to you. That is not a problem. And then you can catch up with everything on the YouTube video at a later date. So there we go. I think that's all today. I am really looking forward to my hot cross bun. I'm going to go and see what's happening over in the boiler room. And hopefully the heating won't be off for too long. So let's just have a little look at what you are chatting about. You're going to make your card tonight, Ruth. Well done. Yes, Lynn, that's the great thing. Let me just bring this back in. A very good point Lynn has just said. In this alphabet, you have multiples of letters. So you've got 2 A's, you've got 2 E's, 2 R's, and you've got numbers as well, which is fantastic. So I do love that. I haven't put the price on here. Can't remember exactly how much it is. But this, if you buy this die set, it will be with you forever. You will always find a use for it. And how lovely to be able to personalise a card with someone's name, especially when you have grandchildren with names like Vivi. It's difficult. You won't find anything in a shop that has her name on it. So I think that's the beauty of having product like that. It's going to be with you for a long time. So let's bring back in a bit of creative goodness, and I will be back very, very soon to share more projects. Remember, if you want to see the new annual catalogue super early, PDF copy only from tomorrow, but then we will get our paper copy, which I get so excited about, because you cannot beat having that copy in your hand, and the smell of a new publication I just love as well, which is kind of strange, but I just like the smell of a new book. So if you'd like to find out more about joining my team, then please do get in touch. So that die set's £32. It is a complete bargain. You are right there, Lynn. You will definitely get your money's worth out of that die set. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you all for joining me this morning and giving me some company over here in the studio. Please take care, everybody. I hope you're all, if you've not had your jab, you're having it soon, and that you have smooth sailing with it, and that it doesn't make you feel unwell for a few days, because a lot of people have been. So love to you all, and take care, and bye for now.